Hello everybody, so I'm going to do an overview of the Iron Hammer portable shower pump. Now this is a pretty awesome all-in-one design pump right here. You get this carrying bag and you get all the requirements for it, which I'll show you in a second. But I want to show you the main device itself. This thing is pretty compact and it has the weight almost as a full-blown soda can. I would say maybe it's a little lighter than a full-blown soda can. So I would say maybe if you drunk it down to about right there of your soda, that's pretty much how the weight class of this is. So it's a bit heavy, but I think with the heaviness to it, it also turns out pretty well to keep it nice and balanced in the water. But it still does float a bit because there is air trapped in here. So you need to be aware that even though it is heavy, it's not going to drop like a rock inside water. So I'll show you guys around it. You have the outlet hose piece, you have the mode button switch, and you have the power button. And then you have the DC plug, which is covered by a flap. DC plug is a 3.5 millimeter to 1.5 millimeter DC power plug. It takes about 2 amps of power, which gives about input power of 10 watts at 5 volt DC. It's pretty nice. And it can run while it's charging, so that's pretty good if the batteries ever fail or have any issues. So you can basically run this corded if you want. You just basically have to lift up the tab, put in your DC USB plug, put some hot glue around the DC plug, and there you go. Pretty simple. I would suggest finding some way to cover this port right here with an extra layer of protection, because it doesn't seem like it will stay secure very long if you put this in deeper water than, I'd say, a shallow hole or something like that. So just for extra precaution, I would suggest make that with a layer of tape or something over there. So that's my only failure point that I ever see on this unit. Maybe the second failure would probably be the buttons. They're a bit squishy and they sort of feel similar to the older models of other companies that use that big gray button that's like huge and it's like very squishy, and you push it down and it has that sort of click 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 sound to it. So that's the only other kind of issue I would think this would have. But other than that, this thing is really designed pretty well. And compared to the other companies, this is the only design out there from this company. So this is not a no-name product where basically other companies look at a product from a no-name company and they buy that product from them, stamp their logo once they get it, and then they resell it to you. So you'll find it under different company names, but it's really the same product, basically. So yeah, this is not a no-name product, which is actually pretty fantastic. So this is actually a dedicated product from Iron Hammer. You can see their logo on the bottom, Iron Hammer Electronics, electric shower, venting hole right there on the side. Open it up, basically give it a twist. You got your sponge filter right there. Take that out, rinse it off, make sure it's clean. And then you got your see-through suction area, suction induction place. and it basically sucks the water in and throws it to that hole right there, and that hole basically goes straight up this little pipe. And there you go. It's pretty nice. And then you just line up that hole again, give it a little twist, and boom. And unlike the other pumps, you can actually have this sitting like that, and it actually sucks pretty well. It doesn't have an issue of dropping suction or making it so it blocks the vent area. And it also has 2 side vents, just in case. And there's that venting hole right there. It's extra ability for it to suck the side walls much more better. Now, I bought the model with the valve, so I have that extra accessory. But this thing, whew, I mean, they really went down business with having the ability of making sure this is leak proof. I'm going to get my light so I can actually show you guys a bit better, so it's not so dark in my room. I tend to keep it dark because I got a snake and I don't want to make him be bright in the with all the massive lights. And this is the charging cable, forgot to mention. It's a USB to barrel plug, which is 3.5 millimeters to 1.5 millimeters. So here is hose and the shower head. The hose is basically just the hose. It has identical heads for the plastic tops, so it can go either way, whichever you prefer. They both have black rubber hardened plastic tops, so they can connect either way, whichever you prefer. Mine did come with a standard shipping kink, but I'm sure if you heat this up a bit, it'll come out. But I'm not really bothered too much with it because it doesn't have too much of an issue. But even if it does kink when you're showering like that, it's not going to be that too much of an issue. It's only if you really kink it hard. So that's the hose. It's about 6 foot long, pretty decent. This is the shower head, their own design, which is actually pretty decent. They have a larger head on the back to hold up more water in the back end and pressurize it better. And then the tube. So this is a bit hollow. You can probably won't be able to hear it on my webcam because I have a audio reduction, noise cancellation, because I have a AC unit in the background, so it's quite noisy in my room. But yeah, so here's the valve in the back. It's not rubberized in the middle, so it doesn't stop it completely, so you will have some drainage still going when the pump is active. But basically, this is all it does. Just have a little knob in the middle, and boom. So you can reduce the water output to your desire if you want to. If you don't want that on, you can just unscrew it. And what I mean, these guys really want to keep this thing from being leak proof and reduction in performance. Man, whew, these guys really have some O-rings or gaskets, you want to call it, because holy beans, check these bad boys out. That is your rubber seals. Those things are huge and thick. So I'll show you a explaint. I'm going to put the shower head onto this. So you put your O-ring gasket in here, and it sits right on top of that plastic bit. Push it down, that's good. And then you basically screw it on. And you'll know when it's screwed in tight, because it'll start being very slow to tighten. And I'll have a couple of clicks, and then once you're done, boom, nice and tight. Even the valve has an O-ring on the top right here. So you have two O-rings up here. You have an O-ring down at the pump head, and they actually give you another extra O-ring. And for the valve switch, actually, since there's an O-ring that comes with the valve, you actually get an extra O-ring, which is nice. So I think I have two O-rings in my box instead of in my little carrying case right here. So screw this on to the pump head. And the pump head has to have that gasket also, because if you don't have that, this piece jumps up and down and it squirts out water through the top, and you lose all of your performance from the pumping ability. So you don't want to lose these gaskets. And after that, boom. So you have all that in one portable ability. You just put this in water, turn it on, boom. And the rechargeability is nice. It actually charges at the correct ability that it has, and when it starts to get full, it has a power reduction input. So instead of saying, okay, I'm charging at 10 watts of power, okay, that's 2 amps at 5 volts. As it gets near full capacity, it doesn't go, okay, still charging at that percentage. No, it actually slows down and drops down of the current, so it doesn't overcharge the system. So it gets that point of level charge and then stops. So it will start reading, like if you have a reader that tells you watts inputs or amp outputs or inputs, jazz like that, it'll slowly say 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, still a little charging, and then boom, it'll shut down. And that's also this thing I want to mention. It will blink red for a moment when you first initially put this on. I'm guessing that LED, I haven't ever ran it low yet. I'm guessing that LED turns red when it's pretty much low or nearing to its life of battery capacity. This is a blue-white when it's charging. When it's done charging, it turns off. So you'll know when it's done charging. I recommend not leaving the charger active into the system when it's fully charged, just so it doesn't surge power it and try and say it needs charging in, because then you probably have issues with that. So once it's charged, make sure you keep focus on it and then unplug it, and you're pretty much golden. But I haven't found any issues with this yet, besides the kink in the hose, the layering problem that may happen with the flap for the DC port, and maybe the buttons. Other than that, I think it's actually a pretty decent design for their first shower piece, because this is not a no-name product, so it's not a toss-up of something that companies just throw out and say, give them your money. This is really dedicated to having their shower kit. And you get this cloth like I was having in the background. This actually comes with it. It's nice and tough. And you can throw in your O-rings if you want. It's not gonna fall out. So let me unscrew this. Toss that in there. Now I get to toss hose bit into it. It's a little tricky sometimes getting hose into the bag. There we go. I always tend to put the head in first, so it actually is able to sit in there correctly. And even with the valve in there, it actually sits in pretty well. There you go. You're probably all wondering where's the suction head cap that the shower head sits on. I actually still currently have that in my shower, and it's actually pretty decent compared to the other models because it actually locks into position compared to other models that just stick on and leave friction ability. These you put on, and then you have that suction lock mechanism that basically pressurizes it into the wall compared to the other ones that are just friction fit and sometimes will fall off because they lose that pressure inside the suction ability. So this actually pushes in and tries to push out a bit and then locks into position because it's holding all that pressure and that rubber gasket gets sealed. So it's pretty nice, and it actually works very fantastic with this hose. I mean, the shower head holds on well, and you can take the shower for a long period of time. This is not just for some gag that you can just like, oh yeah, I got a portable shower. It's hilarious. Look at this thing. No, this is useful for a lot of things. Off-grid living, low power usage, low water usage, transfer pump from one barrel to another, low amount of need for that. Power ability wise, I know everybody's going to be like, well, you just get a 12 volt thing and barrels like that. Guess what? This is basically a 12 volt device in a 5 volt housing. So you get the 12 volt performance of a 12 volt shower pump and a 5 volt power wise. So this gives you that performance for lower power need. Other 12 volt showers that that are like this kind of design where it's portable instead of one of those like big cigarette lighter motor ones. They only pump out 4 liters per minute. This does 4 to 3 liters per minute if you want to. So you have that versatility there. And it's not 12 volt. It's 5 volts, and it's got a built-in battery to it. So it has that performance for lesser power usage. And the water usage, I mean, you can use this at your house if you want to. Say you got a lot of people taking showers and you want to reduce the usage of water ability and be more eco-friendly or jazz like that. Say your water bill's shooting off the roof, use one of these, put a little bucket, barrel, whatever you want, right under the spigot faucet for the bathtub or whatnot. Just have it on low, and boom, you're using less than 40% of water than you would from the home shower. So you'll be able to take not only less water, but also longer showers than you previously would. So it's actually really useful. And power outages, say if you live on a country house that uses power from your house to give pump well water, you'll be able to have the ability to take shower. Excuse me. You'll be able to take a shower, wash your dishes, transfer water from one jug to another, all in the ability right there. If you have either gallons of water jugs at hand, or you have a well with a pump that also has a hand pump that you can fill up jugs and then bring it inside the house. Then you'll still be able to take a shower and all that good stuff. So it's very versatile. It's not just of a joke of a device. Everybody goes, oh, why would we need that? I mean, we got this, we got that, we got this. Why do we need this? It's very nice and portable and very versatile in its usage. And like I said, you can charge this from anything. 5 volts, USB from solar, wind, thermal, or even water. Like if you live right next to a river, you can charge it from a USB water device. Boom. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.